Learning to delegate is a very difficult process because you need good communication, you need high trust, you need to understand people's skill set. There's a lot involved with delegating out a task. And that's also internally hard to do because you don't know if it will be done. Will it be done right? Will it be done on time? So delegation is more than just dumping a task on someone. There's a lot of underlying things to consider when you're going to pass off a task and trust that it's going to get done and done well. So you want to be matching to people's strengths. And that's where DISC behavioral science comes into play. Because when these delegation tasks fail, it's either because miscommunication or it was misaligned tasks to their natural work style. For example, if you have a very fast, quick task for someone to do and they're slower, methodical, want to think it through, detailed orientated, you already have a misaligned task where you're thinking, why is this not done already? I should have never gave away this task. But you gave it to a person that wants to do it in a very high quality way, understand the meaning of it, and provide value in its distribution, that it's not going to be done quick. It's not going to be done fast. So let's talk about the different DISC work styles and the sweet spots of where you can delegate so you can feel confident in passing off some of these tasks. So let's talk about Ds. They're fast paced. They want the win. They want to get the tasks done and move on to the next thing. So you want to delegate out things like big picture because they're going to look at how do we do this successfully? How can we break it down in which we can get the win? And they're going to be kind of the decisive parts of that project. So when you are looking for how do we address this big bear? How do we even start? This is your type of work style you want to delegate out to. When you need a decision made, they can look at different variables in play and make a decision pretty fast. When you want something done fast, Ds are going to be your type of people because, again, they are results orientated and they will want to get it done at a speedy pace. Now, Is are our social. They're our connective type of work style. So something you could delegate out to an I work style is networking, right? Collaboration, getting people together, meeting new people, new vendors, exploring new ways. They love shiny new things, high change. They will be better suited to present because of that nature of interacting with people and pulling information out of them. They have higher influence than some other work styles because of this collaboration social nature. So if you're looking to get more people on board, they might be the ones to, again, present the change initiative so that more people get on board because they're influencing others' decisions of approaching the change or not approaching the change. And S's are our supportives. They're steady. They're methodical. So they're going to be a little bit slower, but they're going to do a lot of that behind the scenes team coordination. They're going to be able to see some gaps in play. They will create steady and repeatable workflows. So do you see where you can already delegate out to supportives where they're going to get all the background logistics and pieces and flows together, and they're going to do it in a way that's not only collaborative across teams because they want to be supportive, but they're going to do it in a way that naturally flows so it's sustainable. Now, our other methodical work styles is C's or compliance, and they're going to be the ones that want to dig into the data. They want to dig into the details, the specs, what is it compatible with, how does our operation interact with this software, this product, this process. They want to be compliant, so they might want to dig into some of those compliant pieces, which might be contracts. It might be law regulation changes. It might be, are we following our own process flow and standard operating procedures? Again, they're going to be a little bit more methodical, data detailed, so it's not going to be done fast, but it's going to be done very thorough and high quality. So let's take a project. We have a new project with a client, and someone is going to have to be interacting with the client, and someone's going to have to be executing the design or the work that needs to be performed. Let's take two different styles. So I's are our socials. They are going to be the ones who are better interactive with the customers, keeping them up to date, make sure they're addressing their concerns, watching their behaviors. And then we have our C's, our compliance, that are data detailed orientated. So they might be working on the design. They might be digging into the data details. When these two people are in the meeting with the customer, they provide different value. One can be leading the conversation, facilitating the meeting, taking any notes, follow-up measures, and C's are providing the information flow, the credibility, the information that they need, the customer needs to execute their work. And when you delegate the tasks out to the wrong work style, this can get really clunky, or you can force them to adapt too much where it's stressing them out. For example, say if I flipped what I delegated to these two different work styles and I put data and detail and the very specific specs and design on our eyes, our social people, they want to move faster than that. They want to fly through things, and they might even skip the details that the customer needs. And C's, if I'm saying you need to facilitate the meeting, you need to address any conflict that comes up, you need to make sure that we're really networking with the customers and other things we can provide, that's also not natural for them. They want to dig into the weeds a little bit more. So to have a really overview collaborative approach is forcing them into a stressful situation in which they might not be successful, or it might be seen as high risk and they're going to start shutting down during this conversation. So do you see where one has a natural energy flow, productivity to it when you align to their work style, and one gets a little clunky, in which now you delegated a task, it wasn't done successfully, you're probably going to delegate less next time. So we want to make sure that we're aligning to people's work styles so that delegation is successful and you get the results you're looking for. So part of delegation is identifying the tasks that needs to be completed, the tasks that maybe you shouldn't be doing that other people could provide value to. The next step is aligning it to the natural behavior patterns that people work in. Are they fast, or are they a little bit slower, methodical? Do they just want to get the results, can break down some of those critical masses? Are they more social and could do the networking? Are they more background supportive process flows and systems? Are they the data detailed research gurus? When you can align that task, they're going to do it, and they're going to do it well, which therefore is going to help you delegate next time. So delegation isn't just about tasks and dumping those tasks. It's about matching to people's strengths and leaning in to where they provide value.